Paul Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't intend to take a long call on this bill because most of it's been covered, and in a bill which is 30 pages long and half of which dealt with half the pages cover definitions, there's really not much more to canvass. And in particular, and given that the Labor, our friends on the opposition benches, and in fact, I haven't been here for the whole debate, but from the tenor of what I have picked up, everyone is in unanimity in respect of supporting this bill, which is good because we've had a couple of good days in terms of everyone holding hands. Then I guess my friend Mr. O'Connor, who has just resumed his seat, he couldn't quite bring himself to share the full love, and so had to find something wrong, and so he talked about a tax. So just to show that so that I can demonstrate I have read the bill, he's referring to clause 128A in terms of an imposition of a penalty. Is that correct? Well, and how he used to tremble in his boots when he was a young lad, an adolescent returning from the occasional trip from Australia, where probably he was bringing cigarettes in anyway, and how he used to tremble at the thought of what the customs might charge him for not having disclosed correctly the purchase price of the product that he was bringing in. Well, all I can say is more fool him, because this system relies on honesty. And I never had that fear. I never had that fear on the very few occasions that I could afford to travel to Australia. I never had that problem because I couldn't afford to bring too much back anyway. And I didn't smoke. And alcohol, of course, I wasn't the right age. So there was the odd, sort of beach cap, a baseball cap, and that was about it. So I never had a fear of having to concern myself with the imposition of a penalty. And in fact, this really relates to the fact that if you're going to buy things overseas, then yes, there is a limit, because after all, we do want our domestic retailers to be able to survive and buy New Zealand. You recall, I think you supported that. The opposition once upon a time used to support Buy New Zealand. So we on this side don't think it's unreasonable to say, well, yes, you can bring a certain level of goods in, but after that we think that you should pay an excise penalty, and particularly where you have been not quite upfront with the prices. So I just thought I would respond to that aspect of Mr. O'Connor's contribution to the debate. The rest of it, I think he finally had to admit to himself that, in fact, it's an excellent bill. It's the bill that should have been done probably years ago, but has taken until this government has come into power to actually understand use of efficiencies, and in fact sharing of information is exactly the sort of thing that can achieve the efficiencies and improve frontline servicing of our visitors, and so that's what this bill is about. So with those few words, as I promised, Mr. Speaker, I would just take a short call. I commend this bill